Yo, how's it going, folks? It's me again, your boy Tabo, and this is another lesson on SVG for the web. So today's lesson is going to be on the basic shapes that you get in SVG. There's quite a few, so I just don't want to waste a lot of time talking about it, but I'm going to take it from yesterday's lesson. Yesterday, I just gave you an introduction of what SVGs are, just the general knowledge of what it's about. And today I'm just going to show you how to draw basic shapes and just explain a few things in terms of how the graphics are drawn on your page and also some transformation information. Just simple, but nothing in depth. But the main thing is that you're going to learn how to draw shapes in SVG. So yeah, everything is going to be done in HTML. So I'll be basically embedding the SVGs in an HTML file. Like I showed you yesterday, I will also take it out just to show you that it still works, but I think that's not important. If you want to know how to use a standalone SVG, just look at the intro video and then you will understand that applies to any kind of drawing that you can make, no matter how detailed it is. So yeah, without further ado, let me just jump in and let's get this thing done. Yeah, I got my HTML file, so now I'm gonna then create an SVG. Like I said in Atom, this does it for you automatically, so I suggest you get a smart IDE. I'd suggest Sublime or Atom. Atom is completely free, you can get it on GitHub, and Sublime, you can also use it for free, but it's like a trial version. So you can buy a professional one, or you can use the trial version for as long as you're still learning. Okay, let's get back to drawing mode. So I'm gonna start with a rect. Okay, so I'm gonna start with an x value. So I'm gonna say x is equals to 10. Basically what x stands for, it's the line that runs horizontally on your page. Okay, so it's basically going to start drawing on the 10th pixel from the left side. So it's going to be 10 pixels across, and then y is going to be 10 pixels from the top. So these are the attributes that you use to move your image around or to transform it or translate it. Okay, the next value is width, and I think width is kind of self-explanatory. So I will give it a width of 100, and then I will give it a height of 100. So it's gonna be a square basically. I'm gonna give it a color. You can fill the color using styles on CSS, or you can just basically directly do it inside the element, like an inline color filling. So it's important to fill it, because if you do not fill it, then it will be black. Yes, that's the default color. But stroke, you have to add the color, otherwise you will not get a stroke. So I will give this one the color of red, the basic color, and then I will give it a stroke color. Now a stroke color is created with the attribute stroke. So stroke stands for the color of your stroke. And then you've got stroke width, another attribute. Now stroke width is the width of the stroke. So we're gonna give it the width of 2 pixels. And then we're gonna close it. So this is how the elements are created. So you have an angle bracket, open angle bracket, and then just before you close, then you've got this / and then closed angle bracket. So that's pretty much how that works. Most of the drawing elements are like that, instead of like how it is here in, with HTML, where you have like an opening tag and a closing tag. Usually when you're not going to add any other features, then you can just do it like this. Simple as that. But I will explain, there is another way of drawing it, but for now we're going to stick to this method. Okay, so now that we're done with that, let's have a look at what our drawing looks like. So I'm going to open it with our favorite browser. Okay, so there we go. So now we've created a square with the color red. Yes, I could change the color to whatever color I want. Purple. Got purple. I could change the stroke also to whatever color I want. I'll say orange. then I will have an orange colored stroke. I can increase the size of the stroke. I'll make it 10, and then now I've got a really thick stroke. And then if I want to remove the color, then I just type in none, and that is gone. So if I want to move it along the horizontal line, then let's add another 0 there. So there we go. So now we've moved it by 90 units, and so I'm gonna do the same over here, 90 units. Okay, so what happened there is that I think I warned you in the last episode about this sort of thing, that if you do not give it a size, then it will use the default size, but the default size, as you can see, it's not all that big. So I will make it into 100%. What 100% means is that it covers the entire width of my page. And so for the height, I'm gonna give it 2000. I'll say cover 2000 pixels in height. Okay, so now that that's sorted, yes, here's my nice little square. And so, yes, in a nutshell, this is how you draw a rect. And there's also one last attribute that you can use, and that is Rx. Now what Rx does, it rounds your corners. Okay, so I'm gonna give it a value of 10, and you will see, because here we've got sharp corners and now they're round. And if you round it, you can even round it to a point where it's a circle. Okay, so that is what it is. And another thing that I should emphasize is that a rect is drawn from the corner. So basically, when you draw a rect, if you say I wanted the x and the y to be 0, 0, then this would be your 0 point. And so the rect will be drawn in this manner, where it will be drawn from 0 all the way. This is your x, this is your y, and this will be your complete square or rect. So just be careful of that. You know, whenever you're drawing, just keep in mind that it starts drawing from the top left. And mind you, all the different elements are different. So I'm just gonna show you another example now with a circle. So now we're gonna draw a circle. Then circle, we've got CX. CX would be the equivalent of X in a rect. This is the horizontal line where it is drawn along the horizontal line on our page. So I'm gonna give it a value of 150, and then CY will be equal to, let me say, I'll say 200. Okay, I'm just gonna return these back to where they were, just so that I can use up some space. And then we've got radius, the attribute radius. If you know your math, basically radius is what determines the size of your circle. So if you give it a radius of 25, then it means that it's going to have a diameter of 50. So it's going to cover 50 pixels across vertically and horizontally. Okay. Yes, I'm gonna give it 25 as I stated, and then similar to all the other shapes, you just use fill to give it color. Okay, so I'm gonna give it the color of, I'm gonna say beige. And then I'm gonna also give it a stroke color. Just keep it black. And stroke width will be, I'm going to give it a stroke width of 2. Okay, and then I will close it. Okay, so now let's see circle is looking. Oh, a very tiny circle. So there, we've got our circle there, a little beige circle. So I'm gonna make it a lot bigger than that. Okay, well actually it didn't, okay, no, it's fine, never mind. Okay, let's maybe make it, okay, no, 50 is fine. I think 50 should be okay. Say 50, and then I'm gonna just then move it back. I'll say 100. You move it back a little bit more. Let's, I'll say just, okay, something like 40. Oh, okay. 60. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So there you've got a circle. I can increase the stroke also, similar to the rect. I can change the color if I want to. So say aquamarine. Yeah, I can also remove it if I want to. Say none. So the same rules apply. Okay. There we go. Wow. But I'm gonna give it color brown. There we go. Okay, so there we have a circle. Okay, simple. And then the next one in line will be an ellipse. Okay, so the first you've got also your CX, which is yes similar to that. I'll say 60 again, and then CY equal to let's make it 250. I'll say 270. And then we've got RX. Now what RX is, it's yes, almost similar to your width. So basically it's the size horizontally. So if I wanted to stretch out horizontally 100, then I would make the RX 100. So, but this time I'm gonna make it 70. And then RY is basically yes, similar to height. Basically, how far it stretches horizontally. So I'm gonna make that. Let's make it 40. Make it 40. Okay. So similar, I'll fill it with a pink color. Stroke black. And then stroke width. Give it a stroke width of 4. Okay. And then I will close it. So let's see what that looks like. Oh, sorry, my bad. Oh, this is stupid. I said basically I stated RX twice, so I guess I just made it into a circle since there was no value there. Sorry, my bad. Didn't see that. Okay, never mind. Let's move on. Okay, so there we go. I'll just move it down, but let's say 300. Let's see where that places it. Okay, never mind. Let's leave it at that. Okay, so there we go. We've got your ellipse there. I think they're a little too close for comfort. So yeah, well, I mean, this is a realistic like workflow, because when you're drawing SVGs, this is pretty much what you're going to be experiencing, just kind of figuring out the size and doing a bit of math to always calculate where things are placed and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much how life is going to be working with SVGs. Let me just move it, just have a little bit of symmetry there. Okay, so here we go. So this is our ellipse. If I want to, then I can make this 70, and then once again we're gonna have a circle. So like I said, they're pretty similar. So same with the circle, I could also just okay, my bad. One thing that I want to mention is that I think I compared the ellipse to the circle. What I actually wanted to compare it to is the rect. They're similar in a sense that since you can get a circle with a rect, I can also create an ellipse. Because yes, the principle is the same. I mean, now I've got a okay. What have I? Principle is the same. I've got a circle, so all I can do is just increase the width size, and there you go. I've got like an ellipse, and then I can just, I guess, keep stretching it out as possible, as much as I can. Let's see. Sorry, 70. So I mean, hey, this is pretty much an ellipse. So there we go. So it's the same thing there. I've got an ellipse here and there. So I created an ellipse with rect. And then here with, so it's flexible like that. Let me just say, got it that way. Okay, so let's go back to 20. And let's reduce the size again back to 100. Okay, so now we've got a rect, we've got a circle, and we've got an ellipse. So we managed to create a rect, a circle, and an ellipse. And I think that's quite a bit for the day. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this lesson here, and then in the next lesson we're going to continue with the rest of the shapes. So just get comfortable with everything that you've learned, play around with the ideas, and in the next lesson we're going to continue with the rest of the shapes. So till the next lesson, love and peace, my brothers and sisters. I'm out. If you thought this video was good and helpful, please press that like button. For any questions or input, just remember to leave a comment. And if you want to see more videos like this, then subscribe to my channel and I'll keep more stuff coming your way.